Hey, ballpoint pens and lifelong friends. Hey, John. Hey, what? Hit me with a new book. Hey everybody, my name is John, and welcome to ADITW, a day in the Word, the internet's favorite Bible study. It is time for another new beginning, my friends. Another new book. Wait, John, what happens when we've gone through every book in the Bible? Well, then we do it all over again. Just start from the beginning. Today, we begin a very short study on the Book of Titus. This is a New Testament book and another one of Paul's letters. This specific book is usually placed in the category of what are called pastoral epistles, along with books like 1st and 2nd Timothy, because they were written to specific disciples of Paul rather than churches in a general area. And this book, as you can imagine, was written to one of Paul's disciples, Titus, who was an early Christian missionary and who is, at the time this letter was written, the Bishop of Crete. And this book, short as it may be, has so much to teach us about how to live the Christian life and how to relate to the world that we live in. But to start off, let's read Titus chapter 1, verses 1 through 9. So, to start out his letter to a church leader, Paul describes the qualifications and expectations for leaders or elders within a church. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And Paul here does a great job, obviously, because not only does he describe who a church leader should be and how they should act, but he also describes who they shouldn't be and how they shouldn't act. Let's start with what a church leader should not be. According to verse 7, a church leader should not be arrogant, quick-tempered, a drunkard, violent, or greedy for gain. Contrasting that with verses 8 and 9, where Paul says that a church leader should be hospitable, a lover of good, self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. They must give instruction in sound doctrine and rebuke those who teach falsely. Now, this type of character and behavior seems pretty obvious, right? Clearly, out of these two lists, you would want the latter to be the person that is leading your faith community. However, if I think about the general perception of church leaders in our world today, if I turn on the news or read the articles about celebrity pastors stealing money from their churches, or about another sexual misconduct scandal by a church leader, if I'm honest, it's actually more often that I hear church leaders described as arrogant, selfish, or greedy and quick-tempered, rather than hospitable, kind, and lovers of good. And this passage is one of the clearest, most direct instructions in all of Scripture regarding the behavior and the conduct of elders and leaders within the church. And yet, if we were to ask the world at large, and even many believers within the church today, I think many of them would say that on the whole, church leadership is falling far short of this standard that has been set by Paul. This opening chapter of Titus is a convicting call to the modern church today, just as much as it was for 1st century Crete. It is a call to leaders of faith communities of all kinds, whether it be a megachurch, a living room small group, or an online Bible study. This is a call for Christian leadership to be better. What would it look like if, when someone said the word pastor, the first thing that came to mind were the words hospitable, upright, and just? How might this change in branding positively affect the ministry that our churches are able to do in the world? And of course, this call goes far beyond just pastors living above a certain standard. In a world where it seems like everywhere we turn, there is another corrupt politician or business leader. And in a world like that, if leaders of the faith truly begin to live above reproach, then I believe that not only will the world take notice, but they will want to be a part of it. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching this episode of ADITW. If you do enjoy this show, then I want to take a second and I want to share a great resource with you all. A good friend of mine by the name of Alan Parr, who is the host of a YouTube channel called The Beat, has a new course out on how to study the Bible. This is a proven step-by-step method for how to dig in and understand Scripture. Obviously, I spend a lot of time on this channel showing you all how I study the Bible, and it's always great to hear from other people and get their tips, get their tactics. And so I've linked Alan's course in the description below if you want to go and check it out. It is really fantastic. I highly recommend it. Also, some of you may have seen this, but coming up in April 12th, I am bringing my show, That Guy from That Video, one last trip down to Tampa, Florida. I came to Orlando a few years ago for my old show, and that was a fantastic showing. So many of you came, and I would love to see all of you and even more of you as I come to Tampa. If you're interested, again, that show is April 12th. You can get tickets in the description. That is all I have for you today. I hope you're having an amazing week. I love you all. Keep being awesome.